Welcome to the most listened to golf in the world, the Fairways of Life show, on air, online, and around the world, with the most candid interviews, unforgettable stories, taking you beyond the ropes. Here's your host, New York Times best-selling author, Matt Adams.
We welcome you into the Fairways of Life show on this Wednesday. Pleasure to have your company. Did you guys get a chance to watch the TGL last night? LA Golf Club got crushed by Jupiter Links. So let's go to a little package that Andrew put together, a few of the highlights for you.
You gonna do it? We're doing it? Yeah. Must be accepted. You have to take it. If you throw off a par, you have to take it. That's what I'm talking about. Look like a flop. Oh, that's pure. Let's go, baby. Go for it.
So how about it for Tiger Woods? Tiger, we talked in the locker room prior to the match. You had alluded to maybe the hammer coming out. My God, you threw it right out of the gate.
Get it started, baby. 119.
15 feet to win it.
Little down at the hole-ish. Okay. 10.
Got it off with 5 seconds left to win.
I think you got it both ways. Then will it come all the way back? Yes, it will.
All right, for those looking for the start of Miami and Duke, it's currently airing on ESPN News. I apologize that we had to tell you about the hoops game at that moment.
I got it out of the bunker, unlike my partner. That was the loudest.
We were entertaining, and we had a lot of shots. I think the people here, they got to see how bad pros can be. It was just a boat race. Oh my goodness! But we had a great time. As what's our teammate Tom Kim's thinking right now? Like, oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, we had him on the ropes a few times, and I mean, Kev got a wind switch on that one par 3. I hit a rock that just came out of nowhere. Tiger couldn't seem to drop it in the rough and give himself a lie. So I feel like we just got unlucky. So I feel like if we get some better bounces next week, I think or next time, I think we got a pretty good chance.
We honestly didn't think that anyone could possibly get hit in here, but that was one of the funniest moments I've ever seen. Kids hitting that shot like that. We were just dying. And then the chip shot, the next one should have gone in. That would have been just like the most all-world 3. And it was just one of those weird nights. And then on top of that, Kiz has is your microphone still stuck in your ear?
Yeah, still stuck in here. I can't hear anything. Marty's going to get it out for me.
Now, as far as playing, hey, I walked to all 3 rounds at PNC. Had a great time there, and yeah, the walking's not the issue. My game is not very good.
Well, we've called Tom and asked him to fly on out here, live in this thing for a little while. We have seniority over him, so we can tell him what to do. So his hazing is to basically get all of his reps in here and go into the PGA events blind. So I think we're going to start there. We're going to get this thing out of Kevin's ear. I think that's also a priority. But yeah, all jokes aside, this is an entertainment thing. I do think that today hopefully came across as fun. The matches will be closer. I do think a lot of people, we got to get a little more used to this. We played a lot better yesterday, me and Tiger. So some of this stuff is definitely, it's unique, but it is a blast. The environment in there was really cool. So we will figure it out.
All right, they need to figure it out because they definitely got crushed. I mean, they didn't play well. The Max Homa was fun because he was chirpy, but Kiz, to my eye, looked like he didn't have any confidence at all. And Tiger, I mean, the buzz coming in was the most fun to me. I don't know, Dom, what you thought, because I'm sure you watched it too. The buzz coming in was fun because everything was like Tiger, and the Eye of the Tiger music, and here he goes. He's going to come out and do his Tiger stuff, and it was just a dud. LA Golf obviously played well, but when you're playing average to well against a team that's playing poorly to terribly, I mean, I still like the vibe. We talked about this the last couple of days. I still like the vibe. I still like that on a Tuesday night, we were watching guys in prime time. And I know it's a hit and giggle. It's supposed to be a hit and giggle. But in that press conference, they had to yuck it up at that point because they were awful. So I have a feeling there's a little bit of embarrassment involved in that too. But, I mean, I don't know. How much you guys think is the structure of the event versus just a team that played awful, right? You look at that team, and you've got Kiz that hasn't been playing well or much. You got Tiger that hasn't been playing at all, and you have Max Homa. So you had 2/3 of the team right out of the gate that were suspect before a shot was hit. Notwithstanding hopes and dreams and what we want to have happen, I'm just talking about pure reality. Is that a fair assessment, Dom, on week 2 of TGL? I mean, we're not going to do a forensic analysis every week, but this was the first week that Tiger played. Next week is the first week that Rory gets out there.
There is a lot to unpack with TGL. And I don't think it's all bad or all good. I think it's a really interesting mixed bag. I could envision a time and place a year from now where it absolutely has an audience, where it is absolutely entertaining, it is different, it is unique, it is fun, it is golf, it's all those things. But they've got a lot of bugs to work out, in my opinion. When you have live sports, one of the problems with live sports, and it's just a reality of live sports, is you can't control the outcome. And the first 2 events for TGL were massive blowouts by one team over the other. And they don't have the rules structured right now in a way where one team can come back from that, really. And I'm not sure that you should do that because then it negates the whole point of all of it anyway, because when one team is you get 10 points on one hole and then everything switches. Doesn't matter how good or bad you play. So the blowout thing is a problem. But I love the shot clock. I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
I think that I'd love to see that somehow incorporated into traditional golf week to week.
Yeah, I'm wondering if the shot clock right now becomes like a report card for players who are, call it what it is, slow, right? When you're watching players that are going down to just the last few seconds before a shot is executed, especially on a putt, for example, when you're down to the last few seconds every single time, is that the ultimate, as I call it, report card where somebody goes, yeah, dude, maybe you should be thinking about how long it takes you to pull the trigger when you feel like you're ready to go. I know they didn't mean it to be a a source of
can
revelation.
Certainly, there is a delineation between the guys that are. I would use I think the word Justin Rose used at his press conference was deliberate, and you could absolutely see that Sahith Theegala and Justin Rose are deliberate.
Yeah, but
they were getting
deliberate,
way under 10 seconds for every shot.
Again, call it what it is. Deliberate is the announcer's code for a slow player. Oh, he's very deliberate.
Yeah, so you get to see in real time, because during the tour event, they're jumping around, right? A traditional golf event, they're jumping around a lot. A lot of times the producers will just show the shot as it happens and then move to the next shot as it happens, so you don't watch the whole process. And even though I think the rules say it's 40 or 50 seconds for a shot, no one's really paying attention to that. No one's really timing that. So now actually getting to see that in real time, you can see, man, he has taken a long time.
They should allow it to be a strategy. Like if you get into the playoffs and you're higher seeded, have a better record, you're deemed the home team, whatever way you want to define it, then that team should be able to make a decision like, your max time is 40 seconds, but you can cut it in half. Something like that. As a strategy. If you know you're playing against a team where where they have a player or players on the other side that are deliberate.
There was a strategy last night where each team gets 2 timeouts. The rules are very confusing. That's another thing. I can't even explain them. They're so confusing. There's so many of them.
But I also think they need to do a better job of constantly telling people what's going on with said rules. I was sitting there watching it with my wife, and Donna kept asking me, what does that mean? What does that mean? I'm like, I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet. I'm trying to.
I think the rules are too complicated. I think, again, when we were talking earlier in the week I used the FedEx Cup as an example of something that just needs tweaks. The rules need to be adjusted. They're too confusing in general. But what I was saying is that Tiger called a timeout to ice the other team. That was his intention. So he didn't call a timeout because he needed it. Justin Rose was taking forever over a putt, and he was right over the putt getting ready to hit it, and Tiger called a timeout and made him stop his process.
Wasn't it 9-1 at that point?
Yeah, it was. But I'm just saying, you can see where if it was tied, again, there's a lot here that I like. If it was tied and it was 6-6 and it's a pressure putt, in those circumstances, I could totally see icing the player and the pressure of it, and et cetera.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So there's a lot of aspects to it that I really
what we
like.
need
the
next
players
week.
have not gotten used to the greens, though. It's the turf stuff is.
That's what I was talking about yesterday, right?
Yeah.
There's something.
They're struggling with it.
There's something off. In terms of, now they'll figure it out because they're the best in the world, but there's something off in terms of how that surface releases the ball. I was talking about yesterday in week 1 that it would dig its toes in and would grab and the ball wouldn't release. Yesterday it started releasing more, which I don't know if they put more angle on the hydraulics or whatever. I have no idea. But there's something off in terms of that artificial complex compared to, as I called it yesterday, Mother Earth. So we'll see how that plays itself out.
Yeah, it's just not. The players will get used to it, I think, but it's just not traditional grass. So they're struggling with that, I think, a little bit. And also, they've got to get used to. And you heard some of the press sound. We've got more coming up from Justin Rose and them, and they discuss it. The environment for these guys, this is so different for them. Especially
they're nervous too.
Player.
That's all part of it. They're very, very nervous with what's going on, and I'm sure their first time around, they're getting used to what these, in some cases, crazy holes look like, which, as it mentioned to you yesterday, I like. Some of them are a little far out there. I'd like to see them
it's
also.
Nice that there's a differentiation. You know what I mean? It's totally different than what we're used to, which is good.
Maybe it's a rights thing. I don't know. I don't know the answer to this, but I would like to see them. I assume they have to go through the full wave of all the teams playing the full fantasy courses first. But after you get through that, I would love to see some kind of themes brought in. Like, again, unless there's a rights fee involved that none of us know about because it's behind-the-scenes stuff, play Augusta National. Or play the 4 courses that are hosting the majors this year. Right? Wouldn't that be cool? You could actually build it up as part of the promo for that week's event. Or
I
that
don't like that.
you don't like them playing real courses?
I don't like that.
You don't like
No,
to
I
play
think
courses that you know?
No, I don't. I think they're going for totally different. They're the audience that is traditionally watching this program, for example. I don't think they're trying to get those people to watch this. They're trying to get the people that are watching Bryson DeChambeau's
Wait a minute.
YouTube page.
Let me ask you a question, though. What they're trying to do is they're trying to get people that are interested in playing simulator golf, too. And are you telling me that people who play simulator golf don't play the best courses in the world? They're not playing the old course? They're not playing Augusta National, not playing Pebble Beach? What do you think they're playing? The mystery, the fantasy courses? And I don't have any problem with the fantasy courses. All I'm saying is let's weave some stuff in that we know. I mean, literally, what's behind you? You have all these monitors in your studio monitoring everything. You're watching everything. And what is behind you? It looks like Pebble Beach.
My argument.
Am I right about Pebble Beach? Yes or no, counselor?
About what?
Behind you, is that not Pebble?
Yeah, that's Pebble.
Okay,
yeah.
I rest my case.
But my point is, Matt.
You've made your point.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm
wrong.
This is my opinion. My opinion
that should be your tattoo, Dom. Your tattoo should say, maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I'm speculating. but in my opinion, I think that their intention is not to have, like, the target audience for them is not someone who's familiar with the golf courses you're talking about.
I don't believe that. I just don't believe. If you've got people that are into simulator golf, they're not showing up going, and I don't have an issue with the fantasy golf holes. Don't get me wrong. I just think it can be woven in with real ones. I just don't believe a kid, even if he's 14 years old, isn't putting Pebble Beach up to try to play it. Or the old course. Once you know this game, you want to play cool stuff.
I don't disagree with that. I'm just saying that I don't think if you're a 61-year-old male golfer who plays at your local country club twice a week, I don't think that the promotional elements, that the way they've designed this league, the ESPN-ness of it, they're not going after that person. They're not interested in that person watching this product. I think they're looking for a totally different demographic, and that's what they're aiming at. Do you disagree? Do you think they just want anybody to watch? They've got to be focused on something here.
I'll answer that question. My opinion, as you like to say.
Yeah.
Which
speculate,
is some type of, I don't know why that when you say that it qualifies it somehow. Because I always thought up until you said that, I always thought you were giving the opinion of some other guy you just met in the streets. I didn't know it was yours. But here's my thoughts. They want that guy you just described. The 61-year-old guy who plays golf twice a week at his private country club, I think is the way you described it. They want him.
Yeah.
But they also want the coveted 18 to 34 demographic. They want that player too. And they're going to get the people even younger than that as well. Everybody wants that coveted younger demographic. In golf, it's a very interesting pursuit because that younger demographic, while it is the fastest growing golf demographic, please underscore, which makes it important, it's not the one that's buying the products at full margin or going out and buying luxury cars and financial services. They will.
You know who they're chasing based on the commercials that air, Matt. They're not running commercials for Lexus and Rolex.
Yeah, no. Whoa. Hold on a second. I watched a luxury car commercial about 10 times.
It's lower price point stuff. They're
what are you
going
talking
for
about?
younger
It's an $80,000
people with less
car.
money.
It might be lower price point to you because your wife's a doctor.
Yeah, right. Lower price point to me, right. I don't have a ton of negative things to say about TGL.
Sounded kind of negative to me.
No, I don't. I think there's a lot of good there. I really do. And I enjoyed aspects of it. I think it's going to be this would be my final thought. Final speculative thought.
Final.
I think that it's going to be a breeding ground for developing the personalities of the players who will be the stars on the tour. And I think that there are players that are a good fit for that and players that are not. I think Max Homa is a perfect example of someone who can become an absolute rock star.
And the member of their team
through
that
something
wasn't
like
there,
TGL.
Tom Kim.
I think Tom Kim will
gonna
also
be
end
great.
up being an absolute rock star.
It's going to be really
because of this. But I also think, not to name names, but I also think on the other
But you're
side,
going to boldly go down that road.
On the other side of the coin, you're going to have players that are unbelievable golfers. They're very special, but their personality is just not entertainment blockbuster. I think Colin Morikawa is one of them. I think Colin Morikawa could win a major this year, but I don't think TGL is going to help his personality glow. They're different personalities. So
I think that aspect of Colin's makeup, like if he had more of a Max Homa personality or more of a, what do we call Ricky has? It factor, I don't know, what do you call it? Sex appeal, I don't know what you call it. But Ricky was pretty much quiet that whole first week and he didn't play well at all until he threw the flag down in front of Lowry. And that was really funny. And that was like one of the highlights that everybody played. Like, wow, he must have been yucking up the whole time. No. But I think that Colin Morikawa could be the biggest star globally in the game of golf because of where his game is at right now, multiple major champion. But it's that last it factor that he doesn't have or hasn't been willing to reveal to the same level as those other guys. Right? And I understand people out there are going, well, that's just not him. Lay off. I get it. I'm not saying he needs it. I'm not saying he has to have it. I'm just saying if he had it, I think he'd probably be the biggest global star in the game because he has everything else. He's got the game. He's got the good looks, blah, blah, blah. He's got all that stuff that people want. The it. So anyway, Justin Rose, Colin Morikawa, if after they won, had this to say about the night.
These guys were just phenomenal to play against. They're guys on tour that have a ton of respect for, and to kind of be on their team was something that I really, really enjoyed today. And I think from 8 o'clock this morning till right now, we've pulled together, and I think it was a really professional kind of like great teamwork day where we really had each other's back. So it was a cool result. Obviously, a huge honor to kind of be out here playing my first one. It was awesome to play it, against Jupiter Links, and obviously have Tiger walk out to Eye of the Tiger. That was a cool moment, right? You're kind of sitting there as a competitor, and you appreciate everything that Tiger's done, and how this has all come about. And it was fun to play against him and his team in our first match. And but the gun goes off, they throw the hammer, and it's game on.
But overall, super fun. Maybe the hammer stuff, there could be some more nuances with that. I didn't. Especially with the singles, it's so fun to throw the hammer back and forth, and then by that time the match was over. So, but other than that, I had a blast out there. The adrenaline was pumping. Still drenched in sweat from just how excited and nervous I was. So it was just such a good time.
We're probably the newest team in LA, but to get back-to-back wins with the Rams and then us, you laugh at that, I know, but we don't take this lightly, right? And at some point when we were up pretty good, even I think through the triples, I told these guys and I don't need to tell them, but let's keep winning points. We don't take this lightly. We're trying to win. We're having fun at the same time, but we want to win. But going back to LA, what has happened? I know I was just I didn't hit great shots, but I was trying to just play a little bit harder for them and what's going on back home. So it's nice to get another win for LA and the city of LA, and we're there for them as much as we can and doing our part, hopefully just a little bit to keep the spirits high. Everything?
Yeah, we're out of our comfort zone, right? Totally out of our comfort zone. I think, thank goodness that there's some skill sets that can back us up and kind of get us through the moment. But I think just really eyes wide open. I'm kind of very much a guy on the golf course. It's quiet, please. Stand still, please. What are you doing moving over there? Are you rustling your crisp packet? Chill out, man. I'm trying to hit a golf shot. So for me, this was very, very different.
I'm going to hire people.
Yeah. So I think for me, it's actually going to be good for me to kind of deal with this. So from that point of view, I kind of enjoyed the challenge.
All right, there you go. They enjoyed the challenge. What are we hearing, Dom? Anything coming in? Did you do a question of the day, by the way?
I did. Did you watch Tiger's TGL debut? Yes or no?
All right, here we go.
80% said no.
Okay.
Tough start for TGL. 2 blowouts. It's simulator golf. That's a little bit limited. TGL equals garbage. When does
Let me ask
live
you a question
golf
to that.
start?
Let me ask you a question to that. To a couple of those comments you just got. Do you think the 2-hour window, even though it's supposed to be fast golf and all this stuff, do you think that 2-hour window is a little too long?
I do. They also went over the window.
Of course,
for
you had
both
to.
of
When
the
it's
first
12
two
to
events.
2, you had a lot of.
Well, I'm just saying, it literally, even with some concessions on some holes, it still ran over the 2-hour number for both the first 2 events.
Why do you
I
have
do
to
think
stay?
it's too
Is
long.
what I'm saying. When there's the outcome is already preordained. I get that it's Tiger, and they're gonna stay there for every second if they're gonna milk as much as they can out of that.
What do you mean? Why do you have to stay?
Why
You
would
mean,
you
why did they
extend
just
your
leave the event
broadcast
in the middle of
window
it?
if it's clear that one team crushed the other? Why not go off?
Well, that's nobody does that. Like if you're watching a college football game and one team's winning by 5 touchdowns, the broadcast finishes when the game is over. They don't just leave the game.
I wouldn't
it's a
compare
blowout.
this to a college football game, but or college basketball.
Well, it's just like any other sport with a score. What do you mean?
I don't know. Just
I'll read a
seems
couple
crazy.
more.
All right, read.
Let's see. The traditional PGA Tour viewer, in quotes, over 60, will not be big fans of this. I need to watch more of this to figure it out. Let's see. I wonder how much money is involved in this, question mark.
That's a good question. That's a very good question.
I don't know. FOL gives TGL half hour, but live event gets no minutes. Not good.
What are you talking about? They're coming up.
There's
Relax. Sit down.
There's no live event happening. What are you talking about? This is not a live week.
Yeah, but we have John Rahm coming up on today's show, and I can't wait to hear.
We have
from him.
We have some live players that are playing in the Hero Dubai Desert Classic, but there's no live event. Can't cover an event that's not happening.
Who would write that? Why? We're the only ones out there that actually do cover the events.
Well, we try and cover all the events, and I mean, as a producer, I cover them. In my mind, we cover the names that matter. So if there's a European Tour event or a Tour event or a TGL event or a Live event where it's not big names, nothing's really going on, no one important won, that goes to the bottom of the list. It's like News 101, right?
Yeah. What else you got? Anything else?
Matt, I mean, I could read
You've
more.
exhausted.
You said
I know
be quick.
You can. I'm just asking if you.
You said be quick. I'm giving you quick. Yeah,
but
of
you're
course
not being
there's more
quick,
stuff.
so I've abandoned that effort.
Okay. Well, there's some complaints about the official World Golf rankings, but that's a whole show.
Yeah, that's also not the subject that we were going down right now. There's plenty of reason to have complaints.
Well, no,
about
they're
the
talking
official
about
World Golf
the players in this event and what they're ranked in the world rankings. Kevin Kisner hit the gala and how the rankings are just not right.
The rankings.
Speaking
need
of
to
which,
be
I'm not
correct.
sure if people saw this. Trevor Immelman is taking over the official World Golf rankings.
Well, he's
Did you see
chairman
that?
of it now. Yeah.
Well, that's kind of.
I don't think he's writing the
become-
checks to their vendors. I mean.
Yeah, but he's the decision maker now for them, or will be soon. I'm not sure if he's officially implemented yet, but it'll be interesting to see if he overhauls them.
I'm not getting that indication based upon his early comments.
What did he say? I didn't see comments from him. What did he say?
There's a lot of comments that are out there by him. There was an article by Alex Maselli. I think the name of their they put out a thing every morning that comes by email. I think it's called the Morning Read, if I'm not mistaken. Does that sound familiar, Dom?
Yeah, that's what it is. I'm looking this up. I didn't see anything coming through. Hold
And
on.
Alex wrote an article that was disparaging, saying that Trevor was not the right person for the job because, according to Alex, he said that Trevor is conflicted because he works in media. He's the lead analyst for CBS. And he's the lead analyst for CBS not only for the Masters, but for the PGA Tour. And he was saying for a person in that position to be the chairman of the official World Golf Rankings, there's a conflict there. And so there was some comments from Trevor that were his released comments. He's not responding to questions or what have you. I don't mean to imply that. It was his released comments about how excited he is, how honored he is, the amount of respect he has for the official World Golf Rankings. But there was no forward-thinking comments made that said, we have challenges with the official World Golf Rankings. Or, to be more severe and frankly more accurate, would be to say the official World Golf Rankings do not currently reflect the best players in the world on their respective tours and with a judgment of where they stand relative to the others. There was nothing I just said that is opinion. That's fact, correct?
Here are the two. These are two quotes from Trevor Immelman. I looked some stuff up while you were talking there. This is what he said.
I love how fickle we are. We get one note from somebody, and we change our whole direction. I don't have a problem with it. I just think it's classic. That's our
Trevor said,
minds.
quote, I look forward to working closely with board members to ensure the OWGR remains committed to its mission, end quote.
All right. Said, pause there for a second. The board members of the official World Golf Rankings are the leaders of the established tours.
Correct. He also said, quote, extremely humbled and honored by this appointment. I have a deep appreciation and love for our sport, and I am excited about the future.
Okay, there you go.
Let me see if I can't. April. So April is when he takes over, officially. What month is it? February? January. So April, so after the Masters is over, he'll become in charge of the... Also, this is the only thing I'll say about what you just said.
All right.
He's not going to say something outrageous right away. Nobody would do that. You don't appoint someone the CEO and they go, I'm really happy to be CEO. Everyone's going to be fired next week. I'm cleaning house. No one says that. That's not going to happen.
There's some new leaders in the world that are doing exactly that.
No, that's one guy. I'm saying in general, of course that's what he's going to say when he's appointed. Plus, he doesn't even start till April. What's he going to say? I can't wait to change everything. And they're like, whoa. We're not going to appoint him anymore. We're going to appoint some other guy.
I actually do think it's fair. I actually do think it's fair that if he had an agenda to change it, of which I think every reasonable person who looks at the official World Golf Rankings goes, it's not right. I think the number one is right, but everyone else is like, nah, this isn't right. I think if he had an agenda to address that, it would have been stated in some way. In fact, he specifically said, I'm going to work with the board members, which are the gatekeepers to the official World Golf Rankings. So I disagree with your assessment that it's just a matter of time. Let him get settled in and see what his...
So you anticipate, final thought, you anticipate they will do nothing different. So in August, it'll look exactly the same.
Yeah, I do.
Really?
Yes.
I don't think that.
I would love to tell you I'm wrong, and I hope I am wrong. I really do. Because I think it needs to be addressed and it needs to be corrected. But you have to remember that LIV withdrew their efforts for recognition and inclusion. And they did it because I'm not speaking for them, but they did it, in my opinion, to quote Dom, because they didn't feel like they were moving forward on what they wanted to do, what they wanted to accomplish. I just think it's really simple. I'm really not trying to draw hard lines here on one side or the other. I love Trevor Immelman. I think he's great. I think he's classy as hell. I think he's very, very intelligent. And I would love to see him come in and say, guys, let's use some reason here. We know that the official World Golf Rankings do not accurately reflect the talent at the top tier of the game globally right now. Right? Aside from the politics, I don't know anybody that would hear that and say that statement is wrong. You could look right now at the official World Golf Rankings and look at great players. You could look at very recent, currently exempt, reigning Masters or reigning Majors champions, for example. You could look at players who have won Majors in the last few years. And you could do a comparison between that player and other players. While it's great players, definitely not better. And arguably not as good, higher ranked. Problem. That's all I'm saying. So I hope that Trevor comes in, and I hope he's able to.
I think he's going to change it.
I hope he's able to break through the ice jam. And things will happen there because it does undermine the integrity of the official World Golf Rankings. And I don't know anybody with a reasonable mind that wouldn't admit that that's obviously the case.
It's just a real challenge about how you make that adjustment. That's the problem, because they have the same field every event, and the bottom half of that field is pretty weak players. So it's just very difficult how you set or assign a point value for that.
Yeah, but they assign the point value based upon the average of the field. So if the point values are less because the average of the field, as you noted, the latter half of the field is not particularly strong, okay, that's still points. It's still points.
I agree. There are points. There should be points. Totally agree. So anyway, so there's lots more stuff coming in.
Yeah, we got to talk about that. And we will have somebody said, what about live guys or whatever? John Rahm's coming up on the show. I want to hear from him. Rory's coming up still on the show. I may have to start those and run because I'm hosting the American Express coverage for PGA Tour Live this week, which you can find on ESPN Plus. And then Dom, you're flying in late Sunday, and I'll get done late because of the event in California.
Yep, I'll be in Orlando with you next week. We got a lot of stuff lined up.
We got a lot of stuff.
Oh, you know what?
I wanted to show you. I don't know if you've seen this yet, Dom. This is.
No, hold on. I can get the schedule. I'll read a list of all the people coming up.
I'm going to show the people what I'm holding up here. This is the new DS Adapt driver from Cobra. This is the LS. Andrew, could you grab it on camera one maybe and be able to kind of show the world here what I'm holding up, and I'll move it to the camera in a second. He's endeavoring as we speak. He's like, it'd be nice if you gave me some indication before we went on the air that you were going to do this.
All right, so Callaway, Ping, Bridgestone. They've relaunched McGregor. We're talking about remember the old Zebra putters? They relaunched those. All yeah. Cobra's new stuff, which Matt's holding up right now. Titleist, the new Pro V1, Mizuno, Cleveland stuff, Srixon's new irons, all the new Callaway golf balls, Ping wedges.
This is all
Puma
stuff we're going to do
shoes.
on our shows, guys. That's why Dom's going through this
all
list.
next week at the PGA show. All equipment all the time. Next week is going to be blockbuster stuff, folks. It's going to be awesome.
Andrew, go ahead.
So,
you can
he's going back.
There you go. There you go. It's all right.
Andrew's doing the best he can.
Doing the best he can. He's jumping all around. The drivers always look better when they're slightly blurry. Shrouded in darkness. He's got his hands up. He's like, what do you want me to do, you idiot? I didn't know you were going to do this. Go back to camera 2 where we've got some actual light on the stage. All right. So here we go. So anyway, I just thought you guys would think this is really cool. In fact, here's another one. Andrew, I'll throw another. Riddle me this, Batman. Do you have any of the video on the DS Adapt driver from Cobra so we can actually see the people? Dom's like, what are you doing right now? None of us talked about this. We had no idea you were going to go down this road.
What are you talking about? This is heavily planned.
All right, so here we go. Andrew's about to pull up some really cool stuff. So this is what mine wasn't actually in a state of like nuclear fusion, but this shows you how cool this is. That's the Future Fit 33, where they can change the 33 different options for loft and lie. And in the old days, when you would change the loft, you would like close the face. Look at this thing. Isn't that beautiful? There you go. DS Adapt by Cobra. So that's just, and as Don was running through all that stuff, next week, because this will be the last time we'll be on with you live this week, we'll be on between Fairways of Life and my Golf Channel shows. At 9 a.m., Fairways of Life will be live PGA show week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Golf Channel, the combo of the two. We've got so much stuff to show you. My producer on the Golf Channel side is named Lauren LaCava. She's actually Joe's daughter, which is classic. And so I was driving back from the gym this morning, and I was like, Lauren, do have you gone through the list? And this is something I'd be asking Dom in another hour from now, but luckily I called her because I couldn't reach him. And I said, Lauren, are there sunscreen companies out there that we could feature? Because as you guys know, the people who watch the show with any regularity, I have pretty severe skin cancer. I'm getting treated right now in a couple different spots. And she said, yeah. In fact, we're going to have Justin Thomas on the show because apparently he's got this new line of sunscreen. His or associated with whatever. I don't know the details yet. I'm just learning about it today, just like you guys are at this moment, probably. And I said, well, I'm not sure if I'm scheduled to talk to him or wherever because it depends on where you're assigned to, what you're doing at that particular moment. When somebody's available, fine. But the big message that I would have if I was with JT would be to strongly recommend, even assert, the necessity of everybody, if you play golf, go see a dermatologist. For some reason, men don't. And then by the time that they find something, it can be disfiguring, for one. But if you wave off that side, you see that as some form of vanity. It's not vanity when you lose half your nose. However, worst is when your skin cancer progresses to a point that it gets down into the lymph nodes, and now it just is a speed train through the rest of your body. It can kill you. That's different, right? That's different. Now we're talking on a different level. And for what? Because you were too proud or too scared to go see a dermatologist, and it's their job to look you over and find stuff. If you've got a bump or you got a mole, you got something that seems to change form, seems to change colors, sometimes might get a little bleedy, sometimes not. Even if it doesn't do those things, if it's a red mark that you hadn't seen before, might look like it was a pimple, not sure, get it checked. Even if you don't have that, get checked. Right? So anyways, I'm just telling you that because that's more stuff that surrounds the PGA show, because I think it's great that we have this. It becomes a forum for all of us to discuss these very important things. Very important things. Are we still in segment 1, Tom? Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't taken a break or done anything. Nothing.
All that.
It's all heavily planned.
Yeah.
Heavily planned, folks.
All right, all that stuff. All right, so we're going to do that now. And when we come back, I'm going to stack up Rory McIlroy and Jon Rahm back to back so that I can hear them. And at the same time as that's happening towards the end of that, it will enable me to grab my bags and run, because I've got to bolt in order to make it to where I need to be in order to do the coverage of the American Express on PGA Tour Live. You guys are awesome. Cannot wait to share the next few days with you, not only covering the live coverage of the PGA Tour, but also because of the PGA show. Super, super pumped about that. That's a high holiday for this show and what we're doing, so that we can show you in earnest products just like this one, the DS Adapt by Cobra, which I think is an absolutely gorgeous driver, and it's one of many things that we will be sharing with you. You guys have a great one. When we come back, we're going to hear from Rory McIlroy and Jon Rahm out in Dubai.
So you're, Matt, are you coming back at the end of that, or you're going?
Went on a little run.
All right, so we'll just end the show after Andrew,
Bridgestone fit me
when you
again.
end the show after Rahm,
And I went on another run.
make sure we play that other break.
I just got fit again for the new Tour BX. The ball fitting's been helping me. Will it help you?
PGA Tour Superstore pros aren't born. They're made. Every January, hundreds of associates talk to the top manufacturers, learn about the latest clubs, test the newest equipment, log thousands of hours of training, and together, hit over 100,000 balls, all so they can get you the perfect fit.
I think when you're training for other sports, or why most people go to the gym is so that they can have muscles and be strong and be healthy. And a lot of the reason why they struggle to play golf is their body doesn't move properly for them to be able to hit a golf ball. And when you're training for golf, it's a little bit different because you're focused more on flexibility and mobility and being strong in motion. When you're able to kind of have a warm up and have a workout routine and kind of gradually build up to where you're training your body to move properly, yeah, you're going to get a lot of big dividends on the golf course.
Our journey began with a simple yet powerful vision to provide the world with the highest quality Virginia-type peanuts. The Hubbard Peanut Company, where quality and tradition meet to create an unforgettable experience. Visit hubspeanuts.com to explore our full range of products and place your order today.
Super easy to hit. Introducing the new BXG Black Ops irons, our first game improvement iron.
It's a larger face heel to toe.
It launches the ball high in the air and really far.
Much higher levels of forgiveness. You set that club down, creates a lot of confidence. It's supported by this X-Core column material.
And that's where you get improved ball speed. If you're looking for a distance, forgiveness, and feel, Black Ops iron is going to be for you.
BXG, nobody makes golf clubs the way we do, period.
Stride by Zero Friction, the first of its kind personal caddy. Walk in comfort and style with Stride's remote and follow me technology. The Stride handles almost any terrain, and its 54-hole range will last all day. The lightweight design and removable front wheels makes it simple to handle. Plus, it easily fits golf carts. Pick up your Stride today at a local PGA Tour Superstore near you or at zerofriction.com/Stride. Stride, your personal caddy.
I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but I can tell you my plan is to be on that team at Bethpage.
So that would be, regardless of the outcome of the appeal, you would make yourself available?
I don't know what's going to happen, and I'm hoping they don't try to settle the appeal before the Ryder Cup. I don't think that'd be good for anybody.
Right.
But my plan is to be on Bethpage. Well, I was already aware of the talent. I wasn't able to watch a lot live just because of the time difference, right? And with me practicing, mainly what I watched was highlights of matches. I think the one that impressed me the most was that was Taro and Matt Wallace versus Torbjorn and it was Norgard, right? Nicholas Norgard. Yeah, I mean shooting 7 under without dropping a shot in foursomes and tying the match is quite hard to do. Right, so I think seeing something like that is a lot of fun as a golf fan and somebody that's played foursome quite a bit. It's very, very impressive on both sides for them to do that. But actually didn't get to see singles that often or that many. But I couldn't give you an assessment of every single player. Right, it wouldn't be fair. Unfortunately, the leaderboard was heavily one-sided this year. So I'm just glad that a lot of this younger players and all of these players that maybe haven't had the chance to play Ryder Cup yet get to experience a little bit of what the Ryder Cup would look like, right? And I think from what I hear, they did an incredible job off the golf course, giving them the experience of that team feeling as close as we can to the Ryder Cup. Obviously, it's not the same thing, but seeing what the locker room would look like and many other things in the atmosphere in the week in general, I think is very beneficial. I wish I would have had that because when I went to Paris, I was a fish out of water. I was very out of my comfort zone, and I think he showed a little bit on the golf course as well. Well, yeah, I mean, again, it's a tournament I've wanted to play. There's a lot of history in this event. There's a lot of great champions in this event. It's a very, very quality championship. Again, I love the city. I love coming here. Any chance I get to come a new tournament and play this event and come to the city, to me it's a good opportunity. But then it's a good way to start the year, right? We don't have our first live event till the first week of February. It's quite a bit of time off, right? So being able to play an event before is nice to kind of get the competition feeling going. And then it just helps throughout the year. It's going to be quite tricky for me to play more DP World Tour events till after August because we have quite a busy schedule. So it's nice to be able to play one early on and maybe not have to play too many after the Ryder Cup because it's just, towards the end of the year, it's always difficult to add them, right? So I never want to fall short and possibly lose my membership. So there's many reasons why this week was a really great choice for me in that sense. Yeah. I mean, from people that see him, any given day, Sergio Garcia can hit it tee to green better than anybody on the planet. It's that simple. He's still that good, and he's still very valuable, right? I understand the change in circumstances. I get it. But at the end of the day, being Spanish and a friend and a mentor, I'm obviously going to be biased towards him. And I would love to see him, but in that team room. But who knows what's going to happen, right? I also understand that we did an incredible job in that last Ryder Cup. We had having a newer team and coming together and performing the way we did. So I hope, I believe there's a place for Sergio in there. I think there'll be a place for Sergio in the Ryder Cup any given time. It's just that the matter of time now is letting the golf clubs do the talking. It's hard to tell at this point. I think a lot of us would say that when that framework agreement was done over a year and a half ago, things would be further along at this point. And I truly don't know what goes on behind those closed doors, right? It's up to people much higher up than me. And I don't know what their vision is or what they're expecting out of it, right? I think so many of us want some kind of resolution to come together and get the best product possible out there for the consumer, which is what I think we're still in a position to do. I think we're living in a golden era right now for golf where the possibilities are endless, right? You have a big tour in Europe and worldwide. You have a massive tour in the PGA Tour. You have another big product with LIV, and now you even add in the TGL, right? When it comes to golf, the possibilities are there right now, and I think with the right minds put together, you can end up with a product, and I've been saying this all along, that could put golf in a different level in the world of sports. So I'm still hopeful that can happen, and whatever it looks like, whatever it looks like. But we're in that position nowadays to put golf in a higher level, and I hope that happens. I think I've expressed my opinions on the world ranking system before I even joined LIV. But they told me early on, I think even before I signed on the early conversations, that they were not going to pursue those discussions to the same level because they knew where it was directed, right? I think at this point, to not give LIV world ranking points and the credibility it deserves, I think is wrong. I think, listen, I understand we've all made a decision and it's not as easy as it sounds, but to say that LIV players don't deserve some spots in major championships, I think is wrong, and I hope that evolves into what it should be, right? I think Joaquin Niemann has done a good enough job for him to earn his way into majors without needing invites, right? I think he's played good enough. I think Taylor Gooch a couple of years ago played good enough to earn his way into majors. So I think there should be a way for us to qualify. And world ranking points, I think they need to figure something out because it's not fair for anybody in that sense.
Jamie, we're going to wrap up with you.
Sorry, John. There's been some reports about Tom McKibben crossing over, and just wonder what you make of him as a player. And do you think LIV is a good environment for a young player like that to progress?
I can't tell you what a good and bad environment is for Tom, right? I think that's an answer for him. I think it is a good environment as any. Really, it's just as competitive as pretty much any other tour. You have to go out there and play against some of the best players in the world. So yeah, it's an environment in which you can grow very rapidly as well. He's a fantastic player, and the possibilities for him are endless, right? Whatever he decides to do.
Okay, John, thank you for your time and all the best this week.
Thank you.
I think what I would say is with everything that's happened in the game over the past 2 or 3 years, I think what I maybe could envision is the domination of the American side of things might come back a little bit in terms of not that the game's never been global, but sort of trying to build on the opportunities globally. So I think we are in a good position to try to grow that part of it. And there's amazing players, right? There's amazing players that play in all different tours and parts of the world and everything, which is great. But at the same time, it's become too fractured and too disjointed. So I would share his optimism if the game wasn't as disjointed and as fractured as it was, and maybe we'll get to that point sometime in the near future, and if we do, then I would say I would share that optimism. Yeah, it's really nice to just focus on the golf. I'm not that. Like, I feel like everything that's happened over the last few years is, I've learned from it and I've been through it, and it's been a really good experience in some ways. But I think it's time now. I'm still youngish. I feel young, but I'm at a point in my career where I really just have to look after myself and really care about myself and think about myself, and that's what I'm doing going forward. And it's nice to knuckle down and feel like my game's in good shape. And I've been close to doing some really good things in the game of golf over the last few years. I have done some really good things, but I understand that the window is very slowly closing, and I want to make sure I do everything I can to have the best career I possibly can. So yeah, I would say that the Seve Ballesteros Award is special as well because it's voted on by your peers. They're the ones that have been out there on the course with you week in, week out, playing the same golf courses, competing. So to get their vote is very meaningful. And I said to Javier up here, like, what the legacy that his dad left on not just European golf, but global golf. It'll live on forever. Our whole motivation, our whole thing that we rally around on the Ryder Cup team is Seve. And we feel like we have an advantage because of that, because honestly, the Americans don't have a character like that to rally around. So I think we're very lucky that we've got Seve to do that with. And then to the setup at Bethpage, I would imagine it would be similar to the two Parkland setups that we've seen that I've seen before when we played an away Ryder Cup. So Medina in 2012 and Hazeltine in 2016, where they'll cut the rough down, it seems. Their players are arguably a little longer than us, so they're going to try to take advantage of that length. And then looking at the stats, a lot of these things, the reason we set the course up in Rome the way we did is because we knew they were slightly better wedge players than us. So we made some of those par fours that you would hit wedges into drivable. So we made them go for it. And that's the great thing about the Ryder Cup. You can do that when you have that home course advantage. So they're going to set it up to their strengths, and then it's up to us to try to beat them at what they're strong at, alongside dealing with the crowd and dealing with all of that's going to bring its own pressure. So it's going to be an incredibly difficult task. I think one of my, from here for the rest of my career, one of my career goals going forward is to try to win another away Ryder Cup. I think that would be, I've experienced it once and it was absolutely amazing. And I would love to experience it once again. And it's getting harder and harder to do. So, we've got a great opportunity this year, and I think the guys that played the Team Cup last week really enjoyed some of the things that Luke was talking about. And we're already trying to get prepared and get ready for the last week in September.
In Ireland, golf is more than just a game. Come and experience our world-famous links courses and our world-famous Parkland courses, all set alongside world-famous scenery. And visit our world-famous historic sites. And while you're here, enjoy our world-famous hospitality. Fill your heart with Ireland at ireland.com/golf.
Ben Hogan Golf Equipment is back. Established in 1953, we serve golfers who demand excellence of their equipment. Designed by the game's best engineers, forged in the world's best foundries, and built to order in the USA. Don't settle for off-the-rack disappointment. Elevate your game with custom clubs at direct-to-consumer pricing. Exclusively at benhogangolf.com. That's benhogangolf.com.
The best feeling iron I've ever hit. Introducing the new Gen 7 irons, the greatest leap forward in irons technology, in performance, in PXG history. Our new quantum core material explodes off the face. Are you kidding me? The Gen 7 irons deliver groundbreaking new levels of forgiveness, speed, distance, and feel. That's what I'm talking about right there. Look at that trajectory. Just phenomenal. Gen 7, it doesn't get any better.
PXG, nobody makes golf clubs the way we do, period.
Baseball? Nah. Football? Done it. I think I'm going to go after PGA Tour.
Playing on the PGA Tour is not easy. But you know what is easy? Hitting the 524 series from Tour Edge.
Hitting linebackers and home runs used to be easy.
Out here, you're going to need all the easy you can get. Introducing the 524 series from Tour Edge. The easiest clubs you'll ever hit. Even the best players in the world can use a little easy.
I like the sound of that. Look out, PGA Tour.
Pound for pound, nothing comes close.
What would your ultimate golf experience be like? Just you and a friend? Or would you round up some buddies for a foursome? Just one day? Or an entire week? There's a good chance your ultimate golf experience could be Michigan's magnificent 10. 10 incredible courses set among 3 remarkable resorts. See for yourself. Book your ultimate golf experience today.
Our journey began with a simple yet powerful vision to provide the world with the highest quality Virginia-type peanuts. The Hubbard Peanut Company, where quality and tradition meet to create an unforgettable experience. Visit hubspeanuts.com to explore our full range of products and place your order today.
PGA Tour Superstore pros aren't born. They're made. Every January, hundreds of associates talk to the top manufacturers, learn about the latest clubs, test the newest equipment, log thousands of hours of training, and together hit over 100,000 balls, all so they can get you the perfect fit.